Yo, what's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another Motor Daily video. I want to give you guys a little bit of a heads up. Please stay tuned for the next YouTube video that's going to be out on my channel, because I think it's going to be a good one. I'm not going to spoil what it is. If you guys want to know what it is, you're going to have to go to my TikTok and find the video where I talked about it. My TikTok is right here. So go follow my TikTok and go watch. You have to go find the video and you'll know what I'm talking about. But I don't want to spoil it on YouTube. If you guys want to, wait for the surprise, wait. The next video will be out in probably about a week. Right now I'm posting one video a week because there's no riding videos for me to post. I haven't been riding my dirt bike. It's not riding season. So the videos are going down to one video a week, but once riding season starts again, you guys will be getting up to 3 videos a week, maybe 3 videos a week. But yeah, stay tuned. And the perfect example of why I'm not riding my dirt bike is because it's only 10 a.m. and it's already 80 degrees out. During the day, it goes up to 100, 105, 110. Let's thank the sponsor of today's video. Today's video is sponsored by Vulverco. I've talked about them in the past, but I'm talking about them again because they're that good. If you guys watch my videos and if you guys pay attention to close detail, you guys will realize that I have Moto Daily stickers everywhere, and so do my parents. Because for those who don't know, this is my logo, and it's in the beginning of every single one of my videos. But Vulverco will bring your logos and your ideas to life by putting it in a sticker, and you can customize whatever you want. Vulverco sent me out these stickers of my custom logo, I believe 2 months ago. There was 20 of them in here, and I think I have about 10 left. I put my logo stickers on everything. And you guys can do the same. If you guys want to get yourself a custom sticker from Vulverco, just go to the browser and go to vulverco.com and use my code MotoDaily55 at checkout. And you'll get 55% off every order. So what are you doing? Go to Vulverco, use my code, buy some stickers, and let's continue. So I have the sticker on both of my dirt bikes. We have it on the 125, and then we have it on the 140, but the 140 sticker is like practically dead, so we're gonna peel this off. Hopefully it doesn't leave any oh, look at that. That was easy. Bam, look at that. Now, I'm not saying all people, but some people, when they look for dirt bike, they look for everything else on a dirt bike except the most important thing, suspension. When I got this dirt bike 2 years ago, I'll admit, I didn't know as much about dirt bikes then than I do now, but the first thing that drew my attention when I first sat on this bike was how soft the suspension is. And I liked that because all I was doing was trail riding, and trail riding will always be better than track, in my opinion. I'll always love trail riding. That's why having soft suspension is amazing for trail riding. But it's the complete opposite if you're going to do track. See, now this is a KX250. This bike has way stiffer suspension than my 140 does. The reason being is because this bike is made to be on a track. My bike is not. Since my bike suspension is so soft, whenever I land coming off of a jump, the bike is practically an inch off the ground, and I'll pop up a picture. I'm going to start racing in a couple months every once in a while. That is why I need a new bike, whether it's going to be this KX250 or a CRF 150. I went to a dirt bike dealership about 3 months ago because we've been in the process of me looking for a new bike. And all of the bikes I looked at, I saw it on every single one of the bikes to make sure that the suspension is how I like it. Now, if you guys are never on a budget, which I am because I'm broke, you can also tune your suspension. Make it absolutely perfect. Because suspension is one of the most important things on a bike. The most important things for a rider to be on a bike. If you have terrible suspension, your ride, whether you're doing trail or track, your ride is going to be extremely uncomfortable. I love riding track, but I don't enjoy riding track on this. The suspension is way too soft. I hit a little hole and my forks compress all the way down. It's nice for trail riding, because trail riding, you go over a rock, you go over some potholes, and you just glide right over. But yes, your suspension is going down. But this, it's okay if it's on trail. If it's on track, then it just won't feel as good. And it won't make you look as good on your bike. Personally, I've never really tuned my suspension. I've never spent any money on making my suspension better. Future, when I got more green in my bank account, yes, I will do it. That would be one of the first things I do to a new bike, is tuning my suspension. It's so hard to explain, but it's really so easy. Suspension is one of the most important things on a dirt bike. So make sure when you're getting a new dirt bike, instead of making sure it has a nice exhaust or nice wheels, look for good suspension. Or I should say, feel for good suspension. Talk about a topic that new dirt bike riders should know. When you guys are getting a dirt bike and you start riding dirt bikes, you are considered a dirt bike rider. As if you were to buy a motorcycle and you ride motorcycles, you're a motorcycle rider. But with dirt biking, there's 3 different types of dirt biking, and there's 3 different types of ways you can do dirt biking. As our experienced riders, you guys know the 3 different types of ways. If you're new into this sport, then I'm going to tell you the 3 different types of ways and the 3 different types of routes that you guys can go when it comes to owning one of these. First, there's track, and let me explain what that is. Track is where you're on a motocross track, and there's jumps, there's whoops, there's berms, and if you want to compete, you race against people. A couple tips that I have for doing track: always look in front of you. When you ride track, I used to do this back then, and I've seen a lot of other people do it. When they're riding track, obviously you have people passing you left and right. And a lot of people, including myself, I used to do this, we all look behind us to see if anyone's going to pass us. That has got to be the stupidest thing you can do now that I'm looking back at it. I used to do this like a year ago, and I'm glad I stopped doing it, because it is so stupid. Because you could look back behind you, next thing you know, you could be flying over a berm, going through a whoop section, and you won't even know it, meaning you won't be ready for it, and you could your bike could go out of control and you could fall. You could run into another rider. Make sure when you're on track, you're always looking in front of you, no matter what. If people want to pass you, they'll find a way to pass you. Just ride the way you want to ride. Ride as if no one else is on that track. Because if you're riding and obviously you want to be cautious of who's around you, but just ride the bike. Don't worry about, okay, this guy's here, I got one guy behind me, I got one person. Just ride the bike. If you want to pass someone, my next tip is going to be how you want to pass someone. I'm behind someone and I'm trying to pass them, if I'm on a really small track, I'll stay behind them for a lap. Because normally when people are riding dirt bikes, they do the same, normally, I'm not saying all the time, but normally people take the same route every turn, every lap, every time. So I'll be behind the same person for about a lap, or even just a couple turns, and now I'll memorize the turns. So when I go to pass someone, I'll know, okay, this person, he's going to take the inside, because that's what he does. So I'm going to go the outside. Even if I normally do the inside, I'll switch up my line a little bit, and I'll take the outside. So if someone's in front of you and you're trying to pass them, then you need to pay close attention to what they're doing, so that way you don't go handlebar to handlebar, you don't crash into them. Right after track, there's trail riding, which is got to be my favorite type of way to dirt bike out of all 3 of the types. I know I do track, and I'm going to start racing in a couple months, but trail riding will always be my favorite. So let me describe to you what trail riding is. Trail riding is you're riding up in the mountains, obstacles, soft sand, hard sand, rocks, ditches, water, tree branches. Trail riding for you. You're riding up in the hills, and who knows how far you're going to go. We trail ride a lot, and when we trail ride, we don't know where we're going half the time, but that is the fun part about trail riding. Trail riding is just a free-for-all. Go, obviously stay on the trail. Don't go off the trail. The reason why I love trail riding is just a one big adventure. Trail riding is more of a calm way to dirt bike. When I'm trail riding on this bike, I'm not as fast and as aggressive as I would be. When I say as aggressive, I don't mean like I'm a pro rider. I'm saying like when I'm riding track, I give it my all. When I'm riding trail, I just take it easy because I'm enjoying the ride, and that's what trail riding is about. Some tips on trail riding. Number one is look at the ground, okay? You don't have to do this on the track per se, because on the track there's not, unless the track is really, really, really bad condition, there's not going to be a bunch of potholes. But there are when you're trail riding in the mountains and in the hills. You can see a pothole and you won't know it. That is how I fractured my ankle. For those who don't know, I fractured my ankle in the beginning of 2024. I was riding down a hill and I didn't see this ditch. I didn't see this ditch. So my bike slid into the ditch. I tried to turn out of it. I gassed it way too much. My whole bars turned like this. I was grabbing onto the handlebars. So I was grabbing onto the handlebars. My feet swung. My feet were here. And I was holding onto the handlebars. My feet swung over the bike and my ankle just folded. That would have all been prevented. That would have all never happened if I just looked at the ground. Now, when I say look at the ground when you're riding, I don't mean like look at the ground. Look in front of you. Remember, you guys, you can move your eyes without moving your head. Also, your eyes, I can see, I'm looking at you guys, but I can see my toolbox over here. I can see my dirt bike right here. I can see the green fender right here. I can see there's 2 paddle boards right there, but I'm looking right at you. And I can see the ground and I can see my tripod legs. That's what I mean when looking at the ground. Now, if I wanted to, I could just look straight ahead and just not pay attention. When you're trail riding, and yeah, every once in a while, look down at the ground. Make sure nothing's in front of you. Make sure there's not a branch or a ditch, because that is going to be very bad. So my main advice to trail riding is make sure you pay attention to where you're going, but also make sure you pay attention to what's in front of you, but also pay attention to what's on the ground. For riding, there's enduro. For those who know what enduro is, it's like trail riding, but it's extremely, extremely hardcore shit. I could pop up a video of what some people do during enduro riding. Now, I'm not going to give any tips for enduro riding because I've never done it before. I have no experience, and I probably will never do it. So, no tips for that. If you guys want some tips, go on Google.